Good morning. I hope you guys are having a great day. My name is Randy. We're going to get into a flow this morning, getting into our hips, getting our hearts pumping just a little bit. At the end, there's going to be an opportunity to do a flying pigeon pose. You can partake or not. It's always up to you. So let's come to our seats and put the soles of our feet together. And take a moment to grab kind of like at the soles of your feet here and just shimmy shake forward. If you're in the States and you're watching this as I film it or right after I filmed it, it is close to Thanksgiving. So today's going to be all about birds, y'all, and gratitude. And just shimmy shake forward a little bit. Hands can come forward, walk them forward. Don't go too deep. This is our first fold of the morning. We're just getting into our hips, opening up our legs. And I am very grateful for you guys and that you're here practicing with me today and that we have this community together. Left hand comes up onto the right knee, right hand behind you. Grow your spine long and then twist through the top of your spine. Still grounding down through your seat. And breathe in. And on your exhale, twist. Release. Right hand comes to the left knee. Left hand behind you. Inhale, grow your spine long. Exhale, twist your chest over to the left. Inhale will grow us long. Exhale, twist. I did forget to mention, but if you like to have a block for your practice, have that handy. Release, you don't need it, but if you like to have it, certainly have that available. Okay, reach your feet long. We're gonna pop onto our backs for just a minute. Reach your arms long, reach your feet long. Just shimmy your hips side to side. All right, come on up into bow pose. So your feet are gonna lift. You can be straight or bent at the knees. Hands are gonna reach over to the right. And then on your exhale, you're going to pop over onto your left hip just a little bit. So your knees are pointing to the left, hands are reaching to the right. And then grow long, and then contract and come back up. So your knees hitting your elbow. Ready? Grow long. Just a little core work to wake us up. Long. Exhale. 4, I think that is. 5, reach to the right. 6, we're gonna go to 10. 7, go long. 8, reach. 9, and 10. Roll to the center. And then right onto the right hip. Hands reach over to the left. Stretch long, still wobbling on your right hip. And then contract. Knees come back in, hands reach to the left. Extend, contract. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 more, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back to center. Wrap your arms around your knees. Give yourself a little hug. Whew. Hello, core. Come on to all fours. Stretch out that belly. Dip your belly. Lift your hips. Pull your chest through your arms. Push through your hands. Dome your back. Lengthen your tailbone. Take this at your own pace, you guys. Breathing as you pull your hands or you pull your chest through your arms, and exhaling as you dome your back towards the sky. And when you dome your back, let your head feel heavy. Release any kind of effort in your head. Beautiful. Now flip your toes, lift your hips up towards the sky, down dog. Take a moment to pedal out your feet. I always feel before the holidays that there's like a little bit of anxious energy. And, you know, that's not always like, I don't know, sometimes it's caused by excitement rather than like nervousness or all the things to do. Sometimes it's just like this anxious, excited energy, and that's kind of how I've been feeling. So hopefully this will help get some of that energy out. Pop up onto the balls of your feet. Tuck your tailbone vertebrae by vertebrae. Pull yourself into a plank position. Good. Once you get there, right away, bend the knees, flick the tailbone towards the sky, vertebrae by vertebrae, push back into dog. We're going to take probably 3 or 4 more of those rolls. So up on your toes, roll forward, bend the knees, flick the tailbone back to dog. Again, toes, roll forward, plank pose, bend the knees, flick the tailbone, dog. Toes, plank, bend, flick, dog. Last one. Toes, plank, bend knees, flick tailbone, dog. Good. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Let's take a moment here in our first forward fold of the day. Put more weight into the balls of your feet. Bend your knees as generously as you need to so that your front body, your thighs, your chest can come to your thighs. Yeah. Release the head. Shake it out if you need to. You can sway your chest side to side. Good. Now slowly roll up. Mountain pose. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Feet, let's take them a little bit wider than hips distance today, and then sink your booty towards the ground. And we are just gonna wobble gobble our way to the front of the mat in our little kind of squat, in between a squat and a malasana pose here. So lift your seat just a little. Your hands, you can take them to your chest, out in front of you. You can even do little turkey arms if that makes you happy. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, engaged, booty, right, left, take it back, left, right. That reminded me of the song, Take It Back Now, y'all. You know the one? All right, right, left. Now, up forward, right, left, sink your hips, right, left, forward fold. Weight towards your balls of your feet. Lift up into mountain pose, hands at the heart. Close your eyes here for a moment. And let's just take a second here to think about something we are immensely grateful for. And I'll just go ahead and point out the obvious because why not? I'm grateful to be able to be here and move my body in this way, and that it creates a space for me to help me get clear, to help me tune into myself and tune into my body. But if you've got something else you're grateful for, feel free to say it out loud. Sometimes it helps to just put the gratitude out there in an audible way. Alrighty, y'all. Lift your arms to the sky. Forward fold, hinge at the hips, hands to the floor, halfway lift. Jump, step, hop, whatever you're ready for. Your feet to the back of the mat. Plank, chaturanga, up dog. Let's take a moment here. Push through the hands. Push through the tops of your feet. Engage your quads. Pull your chest through your arm and lengthen your head towards the ceiling or sky. Now, use your core. Press into the tops of your feet, using your core to push back into dog. Now, sweep your right leg towards the sky. Sweep it up, keep your hips square to the floor, push into your hands, and really engage your right glute and reach that leg as high as you can towards the sky. Good. Now bring your right knee in towards your nipple, and then right ankle over left knee, figure four dog. Come up onto the ball of your left foot, swivel your heel towards the left side of the mat. We're in this figure four plank. Reach your right arm up overhead, ground down through your left foot, ground down through your left hand, engage your glute, flex your right foot, open your knee, your right knee towards the right side of the room. Good. Now we're going to transfer onto the right hand, so you're going to pass through plank, keep your figure four leg, reach your left arm towards the sky, so we're now in this awkward figure four. Place your right shin onto the floor, sink your hips to the ground, sweep your left hand behind your hip, and lift up onto your left foot and your right foot. So we're in this wild thing type pose. Sink your hips, come back to plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Come onto the balls of your feet, jump, step, hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. Sweep your arms up towards the sky, hands through the chest. Here we go. All right. Number two. Think of something else that you are incredibly grateful for. And I oftentimes feel like the most simple things are the things that I am the most grateful for. Like having food on the table, right? It's so simple, but it is, if you don't have it, that just makes me emotional to even think about. So having food on the table, having a roof over the head, like those really simple but hugely impactful things I am grateful for today. Arms towards the sky, forward fold, hands to the floor, halfway up, jump, step, hop, chaturanga, up dog, ground down through the feet, lift the quads, down dog. Sweep your left leg up towards the sky, push through the hands, squeeze the left glute, reach that leg as high as you can. High, high, high. Can you do another inch? Another millimeter. Squeeze left glute. Really, really kick that leg up, up, up as high as you can. Okay, left knee in towards chest. Left ankle crosses over right knee. Here we go into our side plank. Come up onto the ball of your foot and transfer the weight into your right hand. Reach your left arm up and over. Flex through the left foot. Push that left knee back. Squeeze through your right glute. Good. Breathe. Transfer weight onto your left hand. Swivel. So now we're in this funky plank on the left arm. Left shin comes down. Sink your booty to the floor. Right arm sweeps back behind your right hip. Lift onto the right toes in the ball of the left foot. Puff your chest up. Reach your left arm up overhead. Relax your head. Sink your hips back towards the ground. Roll back over. Shoot your left leg to meet the right. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Push into your hands. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Take a deep inhale. Exhale anything you need to get rid of. Good. Come up to the balls of your feet. Bend at the knees. Sink your hips towards your heels. And then we're going to pounce forward. Jump, step, hop to the front of your mat. Beautiful. Forward fold. Reach your hands to the top of the sky, top of your mountain pose, and release your hands to your side. Very good. All right, you know the drill by now. Think of something you're grateful for. I'm going to be grateful for the sun shining on my face right now because it feels good in the colder months to have some natural warmth, even if that's coming through a window. Arms up towards the sky. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Jump, step, hop. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Good. All right. Sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Right knee to touch right tricep. Hold here for a second. Push through your hands. Dome through the back a little bit so your shoulder blades are coming apart from each other. Good. Reach your right leg back up towards the sky. Swivel onto the knife edge of your left foot. So you're coming into this side plank. Again, right foot meets left. And we're going to come into like a little rainbow, right? So right arm reaches up overhead. Hips come up. Create some space between your side body and the ground. Arc your body. Good. Right hand meets left. Lift your right foot off the ground. Bring your right knee to touch your left. And then right foot right outside of the right hand. Swivel your back foot like you're going into warrior two, but we're not just yet anyway. Walk your hands over to the left. So you're creating some space between that left or your right thigh and your right side body. Grow long. Walk your hands forward and to the side. Suck your right hip in towards the midline. Ground down through the knife edge of your back foot. And just breathe. Walk your hands forward to the front of the mat. Ground down into your right foot. Come into warrior two. Hips open towards the side of the room. Take a moment to set yourself up. Heel to arch alignment. Bend into the right leg. Arms reach out. Proud, happy arms. Energized. Bend into it. Feel your hips opening up. Hands clasp behind the back. You might want to walk your right toes over a little bit. Straighten your arms. Bend at the hips, humble warrior. So right shoulder comes on the inside of the right leg. Relax your head. Feel your right hip burning a little bit. It's all that energy you've got stored up, whether it's anxious energy or excited or whatever it is. We're burning it up right now, y'all. Ground down into the right foot, lift back up, straighten your right leg, bend at the left, and we're coming into a high skandasana pose. Straighten your right leg. Okay, come into high skandasana on the right. We're just gonna kind of floss through this here a few times. So high squat on the left, high squat on the right. Ooh, I'm feeling and hearing things in my body popping right now. All right. Last time, high on the left. And we're gonna hold it for just a minute. You can reach your arms forward if you'd like. Good. All right, bend in the front leg. Right foot meets left. Here we go, side number 2. Reach your left leg towards the sky as high as you can. Left knee kisses left tricep. Push through the hands, dome through your shoulder blades. Really push through your right toes. So you're creating space between your left shin, your chest, and the floor. Woo! I know we're still here. I know it. Okay. All right, so side plank on the right. Swivel onto the right hand, the right foot. Left arm reaches up overhead. Create this arc with your body. Lift your right hip up. Squeeze the glutes. Energy through the legs, energy through the hands. Feel yourself growing long in all the ways. Good. Left hand comes to the mat. Left knee to left tricep, and then foot comes on the outside of the left hand. Beautiful. Swivel that right foot towards the floor and walk your hands to the right. Left booty draws in towards the midline. Ground down through the knife edge of your right foot. Feel all the space you're creating between your left hip and your left side body. And breathe. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Power up your left heel to help you lift into Warrior 2. Take a moment to set yourself up. Bend deeply into your left leg. Arms reach out. Energized. And just breathe. You can close your eyes down if you want. This always, sometimes, creates a bit of a challenge for the pose, but it also helps you go internal. When you take the sight away and you're relying just on how your body feels to keep you in this position. Arms clasped behind the back. Create some space by walking your left foot over. Straighten your arms and bow your chest to the inside of your left leg. Ooh. Again, left hip. Let's suck it into the midline. In we go. Drop your head. And if you're feeling burning or shaking or any of that, it's a sign that you're alive and you're here, and feel it. Just notice it. Send some love to that left hip if you need to. Just send it thoughts of love. Okay, power up through the left heel, straighten through the left leg. Bend into the right, straightening the front. So you're in this high skandasana. And let's floss through it a couple times. To the left, to the right. Keeping the integrity in our pelvic bone. So we're lengthening our pelvic bone. Rib bones, kind of the tips of your rib bones here. Drawing towards your pelvic bone. Good. All right, one more time on the left, right leg. All right, ready? Stay up here. You got this. All right, push back into the front left leg. Hands towards the ground. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Bend at the knees. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Jump, step, hop. To the front of the mat. Good. Forward fold. Sweep your arms up into mountain pose. Hands in towards the chest. Here we are again. Let's come back to gratitude. What are you grateful for in this moment? Right now, I am grateful to feel my heart beating, to know that I'm alive. And I'm grateful for myself and for you guys for carving out this time in your day. Arms reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift, jump, step, hop to the back of the mat. Chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Okay, here we go. Sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Remember, as much as you can, get every inch out of it that you can. Right knee to touch left tricep. Swivel open to side plank on the left. Right hand comes to the mat. This time, right foot on the outside of the right hand. Good. Swivel the back foot open. This time we're gonna just come straight into warrior two. Push up, warrior two. Inhale. Clasp your hands, humble warrior. Bow down. Ground down through your right foot. Straighten the right leg. Release the hands. Skandasana. This time you could sink your hips a little further if you'd like. From here, press into the left foot to lift your hips up. Right toe is pointing towards the front of the mat. Put so much weight into that right foot that we can lift into warrior three. Good. Left knee into chest. Left ankle over right knee. Sink your hips. Arms reach forward. Lift back up. Knee into chest. Pass through warrior three. As slowly as you can, place your left toes to the back of the mat. Crescent pose. We're gonna do this a couple times, and we're gonna do it a little quicker. Ready? Reach your arms forward. Warrior three. Knee into chest as we stand. Left ankle over right knee. Sink your hips, figure four chair. Arms reach forward. Left knee into chest. Warrior three. Bend the right knee to slowly place your toes onto the floor. Lift your arms up. Reach your arms forward. Warrior three. Knee into chest. Figure four chair. Lift up, knee into chest. Warrior three. Crescent. Arms forward. Warrior three. Knee into chest. Figure four chair. Knee into chest. Warrior three. Crescent pose. All right, this time is gonna be a little different. Reach forward. Warrior three. Knee into chest. Figure four chair. Now I'm gonna scoot back just a little because I need a little more space. Reach your hands forward. Sink your hips back as much as you can. See if you can get your chest closer to your left leg. Hands to the floor. Take a moment, straighten your right leg. We've been in it a lot. All right. Forward fold. Take a few breaths. One more inhale. Exhale. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try our flying pigeon. We've done so much work in our right hip and opening of our left here. So hands onto the floor, flat in front of you. Left toes wrap around your right tricep. Left knee is going to sit onto your left tricep. Hands point forward towards the top of your mat. Now, just try to inch your right toes back as you bend your arms into that chaturanga that we always do, right? And when we do this, think chest forward, okay? Like you're a little bird, as the pose would indicate, and like there's something you want out in front of you. And see if you can suck your right heel in towards your right hip. Press through the hands. Good, 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 good. And if you're here and you want to go further, see if you can reach your right leg back, up and back, up and back, up and back, and come back. If you did that, great job. If you didn't, that's okay. Wherever you were was the perfect spot for you in that moment. So, right leg is gonna come up into our pigeon pose. We're gonna do a little sleepy pigeon to get a little relief here. So, I know that right hip's probably talking to you. Just be here. Right shin parallelish with the front of the mat. Left leg reaching back. Hands come forward. You could take that block if you have it and put it under your head. That feels really good. I know it's like painful to stretch a muscle right after you've worked it so much, but it's actually really good for you. So let's stretch it out. All right, you guys. Hands to the floor. Right foot comes back to meet left. Hips up towards the sky. Well done. Reach your left leg up towards the sky. Up, 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 up. Just like we do in that pigeon, right? When you're reaching it up. Reach, 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 reach. Left knee to left tricep. Push, 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 push. Swivel onto the right foot. Side plank. Reach the left leg long. Reach the left arm long. Ground down into the right hand. Lift your hips. Squeeze the glutes. Come back. Left hand onto the floor. Left foot to the outside of the left hand. Okay, this time we're going straight into warrior two, right? So ground down through the left foot. Swivel the back foot open. Reach the arms wide. Okay, here we go. Breathe in. Exhale, hands clasp. Stretch them long. Bow your chest to the inside of the left foot. Arms reach up overhead. And breathe. Good. Ground down through the left foot. Skandasana to the right. You could sink a little deeper this time if you'd like. And you know where we're going. Into our little pigeon 4 series, right? Or figure 4 series. So let's just remember our gratitude when we're in the midst of pain, because sometimes that helps. All right. In the chaos, to remember what we're grateful for. Press into the right foot, left foot tracking forward. Pour so much weight into the left foot that you can come into warrior 3. Lift the right leg. Ground down through all 4 corners of the left foot. Knee into chest. Right ankle crosses left leg. Knee spirals open. Arms reach forward. Figure 4 chair. Push back up. Knee into chest. Warrior 3. Bend in the left knee slowly. 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 Come back to crescent pose. Here we go, a few more times. Reach your arms forward. Warrior 3. Knee into chest. Figure 4 chair. Arms reach forward. Knee into chest as we lift. Warrior 3. Sink back to crescent. Arms reach up. Arms reach forward. Warrior 3. Knee into chest. Figure 4 chair. Open up that hip. Knee into chest. Warrior 3. Crescent. Arms reach forward. Warrior 3. Knee into chest. Figure 4. Chair. Lift up. Warrior 3. Crescent pose. All right, last time. Arms reach forward. Warrior 3. Knee into chest. Figure 4 chair. Reach your arms forward. Take a moment here. Sink your hips back as your arms reach forward. Straighten your left leg. Keep the bend. Keep the figure 4. And forward fold. Release your head. You can kind of massage your left glute. Give it some love. Tell it it's gonna be all right. Okay, I am gonna come back just a little bit here because I need a little more space at the front of my mat. All right, here we go. We're gonna try our pigeon pose. So bend your toes, or bend your left leg. You can even come up onto the ball of your left foot. Bend the arms. Right toes are wrapping around the left arm. Right knee is sitting on top of the right tricep. Hands pointing forward. Chest comes forward, okay? We're not lifting into it. We're coming forward into it. Come forward so much. Use your hands. See if you can pull the left heel up to the left glute. All right, if you're here, see if you can fly your little tail, your little pigeon or turkey tail. Get those feathers up there. Use the glute, just like we've been doing in our down dog. Reach that leg. Come back to where we came from. All right, get out of there. Get out. Get out. All right. Pigeon your left leg to the front of the mat. However you want to get there is fine with me. Feel that stretch already? Oh my goodness. And breathe. Good. Walk your hands forward if you'd like. You can put your head on that block if you'd like, but you're folding over the front left leg. And it may be talking to you. Just send it love. As always, you could put a block underneath your left hip or your right thigh, if that is something that is better for you in this pose. All right, release. Bring your right leg forward to neutralize and bring our body kind of back to a neutral position. We've been forward folding a lot. You could either do headstand, handstand, forearm stand. You could even do a activated bridge pose. So when you're doing activated bridge pose, the entirety of your back body is flush with the floor. So you're tucking your tailbone just a bit or lengthening it, grounding down through the feet and lifting your hips just like an inch. We're not coming into that big one with the big bend in the chest, just a small activated bridge. If you're coming into headstand, clasp your hands, pinkies tuck in. Your crown of your head, the very crown of it, is going to place in between the triangle and the hands. Hips lift towards the sky. You could suck your right foot in. Come onto the ball of the tiptoes of the left foot, and then see if you can bring those in. If you're not there yet, you stay right here or right here. Okay? Handstanders. You can either do your handstand at the wall, or if you're trying in the middle of the floor, hands come shoulder distance apart. Lift your dominant leg, whichever leg that's at. Come onto the tiptoes of the grounded leg and just see if you can suck your heel into your glute and try to keep your thigh close to your chest. And arms, wrap them back, you guys. Use your fingertips in your handstand. Feel the balance, kind of the dance between the heel of your hand and the fingertips. Your goal is always to get your hips above your shoulders. Release wherever you're at. Take a few breaths. Close your eyes down. Come up onto your shins. We're going to take a camel pose here. Hips track right above knees. Hands can come to your lower back. Puff your chest up towards the sky. You can flip your toes if you prefer that way. But keep feeling your chest broaden towards the sky, right? You do this by bringing your shoulder blades in towards each other and down on the back. That's going to give you that lift in the chest. Reach your arms back, your hands back. See if they can grab the heels. If you've grabbed the heels, make sure your hips are still above your knees. Release. Sink your hips towards your heels. We'll do one more of those. Come up onto your shins. Pop up onto your toes, like flip the balls of your feet on the floor if that's comfortable. Puff your chest open. Go where is best for you. We're simply resetting the body after all of those folds, going the other way. So we're not staying in that folded feeling all day. Release. Come to your seat. Cross your left, let's come onto our backs. We're gonna do this supine today. Cross your right knee over your left. Bring your knees in towards your chest and then grab the knife edges of your feet with either hand. Pulling our body back together. Your feet, you could draw them up and towards your body. Up towards the top of the mat. Gosh, that feels good. Try to keep your sacrum on the floor here. Release that, but keep the legs crossed. Walk your hips to the right a little bit, and then drop your knees to the left. Gaze over your right arm. We're in this supine twist. And even here, find something that you're grateful for. I am grateful for how my body feels now as opposed to when it started the practice. All right, come back up to center. We are going to change the crossing of the legs, knees into chest. Grab the knife edges of your feet. Sacrum on the floor, but bring your knees in. Pull your feet up. Oh, gosh, feel that stretch. Release. Walk your hips to the left a little bit. Knees drop over. Gaze over your left hand. If you find your mind wandering, bring it back to your mat. Fill your body with the breath. As you exhale, envision it just washing everything out. On the clean cycle, just rinsing out the body, rinsing out the mind. Come back to center. Reach your legs long. Throw your arms wide. Feel your whole body sink into the floor. Let the ground support you. Again, take a big inhale. On your exhale, envision this breath washing everything out. Inhale thoughts of abundance and joy. Exhale, get rid of anything that needs washing out. Rinse it all out. Inhale. Exhale, rinse it out. Beautiful. Come back to a regular breath. I'm going to leave you here to spend as much time as you need to in Shavasana. I am truly grateful for the time that we shared together today. And I hope this practice has left you feeling grateful and cleansed and ready for the week ahead, the day ahead. And just generally, I feel like I hope it's done enough. I hope it's done as much for you as it's done for me today. Thank you so much for practicing with me.